apologize when you ask whether it's going to be good to hit somebody who's unfamiliar coming up. But the guys you're about to go face, you might be more familiar with facing them than you are the Bears on the team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of good dudes that I play with on that team, you know, built a lot of relationships over there. So I'm just excited to be able to go say hi and, you know, practice with those guys and, you know, also just see how they're doing.
When you go up against a team, even in the preseason or in a practice, that you used to play for that you don't play for anymore, is there added motivation at all? Or?
No, there's always motivation when I hit the field. Just trying to represent, you know, the organization as best as I can and represent the name on the back of my jersey as best as I can, no matter if it's going against my own teammates or going against the opposite color jersey.
What did it take to get 91?
What did it take? No, it's just, you know, me and Dom, we have you know, just a common respect for each other, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I just feel like I said, it's respect. And, you know, we sorted some things out. Can't really drop the details like that. But great question, though.
You played in similar defenses to this one. How would you kind of describe the transition and how smooth the adjustment's been for you?
I feel like it's very smooth for me. I'm blessed and thankful that I'm able to have Coach Travis again. And he's a guy that he's a great teacher. He allows you to just be yourself. And he's the same guy every day coming to work. So that's somebody that I love to, you know, play for and get coached by.
Saw you working with Trevon Dexter at the back of the end zone last week, working on some moves with him. Is that something that you offered him, or did he ask you for your advice?
I just see a lot of potential in him. I see a lot of myself in him as well. His first step is quick. He's a young guy, and I feel like he can be a day one guy that can just affect the quarterback, affect the run game. So I just wanted to just shed my knowledge on him. And you can always learn stuff from the young guys as well.
That year you were in Vegas was kind of a crazy year. I mean, with the coaching change and everything that happened. With Coach Travis, you talked him up a lot in your relationship with him. Just how did he help get through all that as you guys were going on that roller coaster season?
Yeah, I just feel like adversity brings togetherness, you know what I mean? And it just tests your character. And I was a special group, you know, a group that was able to endure, you know, a lot of adversity and able to still be able to get to the playoffs. So I feel like, you know, going through those kind of distractions and seeing how far the team went that year was pretty special.
Do you feel like you need to play in a game in the preseason to be ready?
I just feel like, man, just practicing and playing in the game is pretty good. But I take my practice reps like game reps. You know what I mean? I don't try to wait till the game comes and try to turn it on. I try to turn it on every time I touch the field.
When you see the Bears get 8 sacks on Saturday, I realize that they didn't all come from starting players. But you sit there and go, all right, that's, you know, does that allow you to dream on some of these guys, some of these younger guys?
Absolutely. It's just special. You know, our group, we need to just, you know, bring that momentum into the, you know, the regular season, not trying to, you know, get past Indy or whatever. But I just feel like that's just great tape to watch, especially when we start the season and, you know, the adversity hits. And just to see how we were rolling in the beginning of the season, we need to remember, you know, what kind of group we are. And just, you know, like I said, 4 = 1, 4 D linemen getting to the quarterback.
You always hear about building a rapport like between a receiver and a quarterback, timing, same page, all that stuff. What's it like building a rapport with other linemen, like when you have to do stunts and first timing, and what's involved in that, and how long does that usually take to get it down?
I feel like it just takes a few practices, you know, just to learn, you know, what your 3 technique likes to do, his steps, his movements, how quick he gets off the ball, vice versa. He will figure out, you know, as me as a defensive end, how quick I'm getting off the ball, my steps, what I like to see, and things like that. It's just a feel for each other, and I feel like that comes fairly quick, but it also gets better as time progresses.
There was a play, and Tyreek broke up a screen pass to a receiver, Tyreek Stevenson, in the first quarter of the game. And, like, it wasn't just the defense celebrating on the sideline. It was the offensive players, too. Do you remember that specific play and just, like, where you might have been on the sideline this past
Absolutely. I just feel like, you know, it was a lot of plays being made, you know, this past weekend. And I just love the camaraderie we have. You know, if an offensive player scores a touchdown, you see the defensive guys running down to the field and congratulating. And vice versa, when we get a sack or we get an overthrow and we turn the ball over, you got offensive guys coming to us and celebrating. So, you know, that builds a great team. That builds a great culture.
Was there anything that you specifically noticed from Travis Gibson or from Dominique in Sunday's game?
Absolutely. You know, those guys, they're coming off the ball really quick. Coach Travis teaches us to get off the ball. He teaches us to, you know, there's no such thing as a play action pass. And I've seen a lot of great things coming from those 2 guys. And honestly, I just can't wait to go out there and take the field with them.
You're going back to the work you're doing with Trevon on the side. What exactly are you working on it with? I saw you maybe did give him a cross chop tutorial.
They're just working on hand and eye coordination, basically just working on our steps. And he was just basically asking me, like, how did I perfect that move, and what do I see, you know, when I'm throwing that move. So I was just giving him some nuggets to try to, you know, patent his game.
How did you perfect that?
I would just say just working overtime. You know, this league is difficult. You can't just stab club guys no more because guys are strong. So you got to figure out a move where you can disengage with a guy really quick, and that's a move that I try to perfect over time.
Is it harder for interior defensive linemen to do that, just given like where they are and I mean the matchups that they might draw? Is it something that you see more typically from edge rushers than it is maybe a defensive tackle?
I wouldn't say that because you got guys like Aaron Donald that has a great cross chop. You have guys that came in our past like Warren Sapp that had a really good cross chop. So it's just about, you know, allowing that move to be one of your number one arsenals, and it just takes time, repetition.
You always hear about coaches. I always hear about coaches saying that they're good teachers. They pride themselves in being good teachers. You mentioned about Travis. What is it that he kind of taught you? Is it just like teaching you how they run this defense here, or are the things he taught you that made you a better player?
I feel like it was things that Coach Travis as well as Coach Marinelli taught me to become a better player, and it's basically just your effort. How bad do you want it? You know, sometimes you mess up on a play, but you can make a play not look like a mistake if you're just going full speed. You know, it's all about going full speed, and it's also all about just being a servant leader, and just giving back to the young guys and just telling them the things they can do so they don't go through the same mistakes you made.
I was doing a little reading and I was reading up about the throat injury you had at the end of last year. How did that happen? You got hit in the game,
It was a freak accident.
and then how did that affect your daily life? Kind of for
Not at all. It didn't affect my daily life at all.
At all?
No, I feel good.
Just hurt?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little sore throat. So, appreciate y'all.
It's obviously been in and out for you throughout the summer. So how would you just, you know, explain like your emotions? How are you feeling? What's this summer been like for you?
Yeah, you know, obviously it's a little tough on me. I'd rather be out there, but it is what it is. But yeah, you know, it's not the easiest thing.
I think we saw you come back one day and then you were out the next. Did you have a setback? Did you come back too soon? What happened there?
You know, nothing really want to talk about respectfully. What really matters is that I'm back now, and I just want to move forward that way.
When you said it's been tough on you, has it been sort of an obstacle or a hindrance to acclimating and getting into the system?
No, I wouldn't say that. But like I said, I'm just gonna, you know, hold off on those and just say respectfully. I just want to move forward. You know, I'm back now. That's all that really matters.
How important will it be for you to get some game action before preseason ends? Or do you think do you need it?
You know, I'm going to leave that up to the coaches and the training staff. It's not my call, so that's a question for them.
When you were out, what types of things were you doing to stay engaged, to stay, you know, as much in the flow of things as you possibly could?
Yeah, I mean, still being around the guys, still being in the meetings, being walkthrough, stuff like that, just being around the team, you know, just still being engaged that way.
Yeah, you said what matters is that you're back now, so should we expect to see you practicing in full pads, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to the coaching staff and the training staff too. Whatever they want me to do, I'll be there.
How have you worked to get the offensive line chemistry together while you've been out?
Yeah, like I said, just being part of the team still, just being present in meetings, being present during walkthroughs, you know, talking to each other, stuff like that.
With you and Lucas out, we saw a lot of Jatari Carter in that spot. What did you think of him? What do you think of his game?
Oh man, yeah, that's an awesome dude, man. He has a lot of you know, a lot of potential. He's only continuing to get better and better. But yeah, I'm happy for him. He's doing well.
What's your kind of similar to his question, but what's your expectation for what you'll be able to do in the joint practices? I mean, is it any different because you're going to be going up against another team?
Yeah, same thing. It's a question for Coach Flew and the training staff. You know, it's really up to them to see what goes on.
You've been in the league for 5 years now. What sense do you have as far as how ready you are for this season at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm ready. You know, I've been doing this, like you said, for 5 years. You know.
It's like if the opener was today, you're good to go. You're prepared. You're physically ready.
That's a question for your training staff and the coaching staff right there. I can't, you know, for what goes on, I can't, you know, can't answer that.
Your play and how you feel though. Do you feel ready for games at this point in mid-August?
Respectfully, I don't want to talk about that. Like I'm going to leave that up to the coaching staff and the training staff.
A lot of guys prefer to take a live hit before week one comes around. They just like that first tackle, that first real contact. What's your preference?
My preference is whatever the coaching staff needs me to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Have you
you spoken with Tanner Jennings at all? I know he's on the other side now, but do you see anything in him? Do you work with him at all? What kind of stuff you guys work on?
Yeah, me and Tevin are close. We talk about anything from scheme to different type of players we got to go against. So yeah, we talk a lot.
I don't know how much experience you have with crossover practices against another team, but how good are those? How beneficial are they? Do you like them or not?
Yeah, no, I like them. It gives you just a different type of feel, different type of practice, switch up a little bit, especially during camp. It's definitely live practice, and you just get each other better that way.
Is the speed different? I mean,
it is because it's a little bit more heightened. It's close to it's a little more heightened. It's close to like a game type of experience, just because you're going against a new team instead of your own teammates. So yeah, it's good work.
Coming from Tennessee, what do you feel like being in that program for as long as we were? Like the things that they preach, physicality. It seems like they're very physical football team. Like how did they get you ready for what you feel like you're going to be in here now?
Yeah, I think they got me ready pretty well. I think just being part of that system, and then there's a lot of carryover from that system to this system in Chicago that suits me very well. So yeah, I think it's a great carryover, and there's a reason why I'm here.
What is it about that system that you think suits you very well? What is it about what Luke Getsy, Chris Moore can do offensively that suits your skill set?
It goes back to the scheme thing. It just fits me very well. I'm a guy who's athletic, big, strong, and I like to be out in space, stuff like that. So, I like that.
You were talking about the joint practices being heightened a little bit. What do you guys have to be aware of so that the emotions kind of don't go over the line, leading to fights?
Right. I mean, it's definitely a very emotional sport, especially you put everything into it. So, you got to tote that line, but know when to bring yourself back a little bit. It's going to be fun out there for sure.
It's one thing to get used to playing next to the veterans, but maybe something a little bit different. Playing next to a rookie. Is there anything you're anticipating trying to get back in the swing of things with Darnell Wright specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I did actually last year with Nicholas Petit. He was also a rookie too, so it's nothing really too new. I'm not really worried about it at all.
I just meant compared to a veteran.
Yeah,
compared to a veteran getting next to a rookie. Are there differences there?
A little bit. I mean, it's his first time in the league. It's his first time understanding the playbook. Understanding the lingo that we have to do now. So it takes a little bit of adjustment, but that's really the biggest thing is just understanding.
I appreciate you. What was your takeaway after watching the tape of how you guys did in the first game?
It looked good. I think guys were coming off the ball. I saw some confidence out there. There's always some things that we can work on, and I think we're gonna, talk to everybody individually about what they need to do better.
What do you think of the rookies? Both Pickens and Bell made some big plays. What's the about that?
It's nice because that's, like I said, that's what builds the confidence. Once you start making the play, you can make it more and more so where, you have the confidence to do it more often.
How was your body different today than it was when you signed here?
What do you say?
How's your body different?
Oh yeah, no, it's just leaner, and I worked on my flexibility as well.
How much leaner?
About 4 pounds. That makes a difference though.
What does the flexibility do for you?
It helps you stay low on doubles. It really does. Being able to stay low and move your feet at the same time, it takes a little flexibility, especially in the hips.
Matt was telling us he liked your punch. The defensive line as a whole liked the punch in the run defense, but that the details could be cleaned up. What are some of those details that you think could be cleaned up in the run game?
In the punch?
The punch in the run game. I think he.
What I noticed was, we've been in camp for a while. I think it's getting off of blocks when a dude's really trying to drive you to the ground. Like in camp, we're not trying to, throw people to the ground. We're just trying to stay in front, stay on their block. So I think the difference in the game is what we need to work on is just really getting rid of a dude instead of just like, like for me personally, it's like I was trying to swim over stuff. It's like, no, you gotta rip a Z in the game. They're really trying to push you to the ground. So it's a little different than, practicing against each other.
In joint practices though, obviously guys aren't trying to hurt each other because it's still training camp. Do they tell you ahead of time how they expect that to go? I know you're gonna be going against some another team, but is there something you
Yeah, you wanna take care of everybody, especially at practice, if it's not game time. But the biggest thing about the joint practice is we don't want any fights. Things are going to happen. Guys are going to get emotional. You might, throw somebody to the ground. Somebody might throw you to the ground. But the most important thing is just staying calm and no fights.
It's a training camp cliche at this point to say, I'm ready to hit somebody other than my teammate. How real is that effect? How much are you looking forward to that? And Like you're just saying, just what exactly do you feel the benefit is?
The benefit is they don't know what you're gonna do. We've gone against Jeff. I know what Cody White is gonna do. He knows what I'm gonna do. So it kind of just it keeps you thinking now. Now I'm going against a guy that I don't know nothing about him. I haven't watched any film, and he hasn't watched any film on me. So you kind of get away with your little vet techniques and things like that when you go against somebody else. But by the time the second day comes around, he's back to square one. So.
But you're definitely at that point where you're looking for. I mean, that's real. That eagerness or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's real. It's real. Cause I'm not. You can play a little harder when it's not your own teammate. That's what I'm basically.
How many joint practices have you done?
1, 2, 2.
Any good fights?
Oh, I mean, it always gets testy. I'll put it like that.
Does that build teamwork at all? Did not the actual act of fighting, but kind of sticking up for your guys? You might even end up sticking up for an offensive player in a way that you wouldn't when it's just you guys out here.
Yeah, it definitely does because it's just your teammate, and that the other people are not your teammates. So quite frankly, if they start fighting somebody or a whole bunch of people jump on one person, it's not necessarily going there and start swinging, but it's like let's get in there and break it up faster than normal, stuff like that.
Did you get credited with a sack today in 11-on-11 at one point?
I'm about to find out. I got back there, but I don't know. We'll see. Because you're talking about when I just ripped up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might give me a sack on that one because I'm not going to just re-rip and try to get to the quarterback in practice. That's not going to happen.
Andrew, on that play, I think Coach Overstreet was saying juggernaut. Is that?
That's my nickname. Yeah, that's my nickname.
How do you like that?
I like it a lot. That's the way I see a nose guard in the defense. No matter if it's pure read or attack, you're the middle of the defense, so you got to hold it down no matter what. That A gap has to be there, and can nothing come through, basically.
I'm so sorry. Zach was telling us that he's been learning exclusively the nose position. What kind of things are you telling him to kind of get him acclimated? Because it's not a glamour position, so you're not looking.
No, it's not. What
kind of tips and tricks are you giving him?
I mean, for Zach as a taller guy, me being a shorter guy, it's I really have to watch him because I can't tell him to do what I do because we're totally different bodies. But for him, man, it's just whatever we can do to not fix his technique, but change it to give him the best advantage, whether it's bagging off the ball, picking up his offhand, whatever like that. Because all you want to do is just find where he's comfortable at so he can play with more confidence, which I think he's been doing, and he's getting better every week.
Andrew, with Javon, he had a little quieter debut than Zach and Travis. What did you guys see from him on film, and how have you seen him grow over the last couple weeks?
Javon's been doing great, man. He's been improving in every aspect of his game. I mean, did he make plays? Yeah. Did he make tackles? Maybe not as many as he would like to, but it's preseason. I think that what we wanted for them is to feel that NFL game speed, and that was the big thing. And just go out there and be confident. He didn't really care if he was in his gap. All we really cared about was him getting knocked back. That was the most important thing this game for those rookies, just getting knocked back.
Andrew, Yannick has been ramping up more and more at practice. Can you get a sense now for how he can help the entire defensive line, or do you really have to wait to see it in a game?
I already know. Yeah, I mean, that's why he's here. He's here to set the edge rush passer. I mean, that's it, and that's what he does. So.
When you signed here, was working on your body and becoming more flexible, was that part of the Bears' pitch to make you better, or was it just like they just signed? I mean, how much was that part?
I mean, that was every year is you got to get better. You got to find a different way. Did they pitch it to me? Yeah, sure. But I mean, that was already the plan. I came in here and talked to the DC head coach, and we're like, hey, we're gonna get you here. We're gonna do what we need you to do, and we kind of want you here with your body. And I was like, okay. I mean, it's really nothing. They tell you what to do, you do it. So.
You were a year after Ngakoue in Vegas, right?
Yeah. I wasn't with him.
Did you see any film of him when you were there, or did people talk about him?
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about Yannick. He has the famous cross chop of the NFL. That's what he does, and he's very good at it. He's perfected it.
In an even front, with a DT supposed to be interchangeable, can you tell with the two young guys, like, is there areas where Zach's better at this, Javon's better at this, or are they truly with their skill sets as interchangeable as at least in theory how you build an even front?
With the even front, it takes different skill sets. I think they both have different skill sets, honestly. One guy's better at another thing than the other, but I think all that matters is that can you bring it to that one technique? Can Gervon come in there and play shade, using his skill sets, and can Zach go out there at 3 using his skill sets? Like one guy probably has better key reads, the other guy has better hands, but you know, it's just at the end of the day, can you do one thing great and use that to your advantage? And I think they both do that very well.
Zach talked early on about like he wants to go out there and not overthink it.
Right.
Have you noticed like that element like becoming more like easier for him in games?
Yes, because like I said earlier, I mean, you just gotta, for a rookie, they have to learn their stance, alignment, and their key. The next thing for him is just get knocked back, and I think that simplifies it for him. You know, once you just start getting knocked back, you know, you don't have to think too much. You just, all right, I'm this, the center's my key. I'm gonna take him 3 yards back. Whatever happens after that is football.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.